Welcome to my first episode of Money Boosting Mondays on YouTube. Now, for you that don't know, Money Boosting Mondays is a podcast episode that I used to record. And I decided, you know what, I'm just doing a little too much everywhere. Let me bring Money Boosting Mondays onto YouTube. That way, for those of you who do not mind seeing me, and then also seeing some of the things that I have to share with you, then at least you get to see it instead of me telling you what links to go to and where to search it. And then also, for those of you that didn't know about Money Boosting Mondays, now you get the information face to face. Today, I will ask you if you are new to my channel and you are interested in a debt repayment journey and financial literacy and building a legacy of prosperity and financial empowerment, subscribe to my channel because that's what we're doing here. I am an independent insurance agent, but I am also very interested in gaining knowledge and definitely speaking to people within the financial industry that have a lot of information that will help us build wealth and live prosperous lives. Okay, so if you're all about it, definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell. In addition, hey, you're gonna see other things on this channel. On Wednesday, I have the advocacy portion that I post, and then on Sundays, it will be anything related to lifestyle, fitness, vlogging, and whatever I choose to post. As for Money Boosting Mondays, we're gonna get this episode started right now. So let me give you a little summary because, if I'm going to take from one platform and bring it to another, I'm going to have to backtrack before I can get current with you guys. So in 2000, I had claimed bankruptcy, left it alone, went about my very merry old way, didn't necessarily learn the things that I needed to do to prevent myself from ending back up in the same space. Some of it was just be responsible, and then there were other things in money management that I didn't learn. A lot of discipline with understanding also how to deal with assets and wealth building. I didn't understand that stuff. I just lived my life. Now that obviously isn't beneficial and is problematic because when you gain more debt, then once again it's another cycle of, are you claiming bankruptcy again, or are you doing consumer consolidation, or are you going to pay this thing off? What are you going to do? Because honestly, you can't live like this, especially because I'm a parent and I want to be able to help my child in his future. So with that said, I got my discharge from my bankruptcy. I decided that I needed to pay this one off. I accumulated another amount of money that was just based on poor financial choices. And I said, you know what, it's not that much. I'm going to have to pay this thing off. So what I did was I started to seek information about debt repayment. And I was getting a lot of information in the US about what's going on in the US. I wasn't seeing a lot of information online. Especially because I use Instagram's a platform that I'm regular on. I was looking up a lot of stuff, but I was seeing Dave Ramsey and all these other people, but they're in the US. So I'm like, I need a Canadian example, someone who's in the financial industry to help me with that. And fortunately, I was advised to check out this lady, and Miss Nicole Williams. So Nicole Williams, she wrote a book. It said Mrs. Moneybags Presents the Millennial Money Guide. And I was like, the Millennial Money Guide? How is that going to apply to me? I'm old. I don't think I don't think that's necessarily the one. And I said, you know what? Don't be in your head, because that's why you're in the problem you're in. Contact the lady. So I sent her a message and I said, hi, I'm in my 40s. I'm really, I'm in this position and I would really like to change it. Do you think your guide will be able to help me? And she's like, listen, the book is for everybody. It's all about finances in general. Feel too free to check it out. So I went on Amazon, and then there was a little preview of the book, so I read through it and I was like, you know what, she's Canadian, she's a black author, she's a mortgage broker, she must know what she's talking about, because first of all, I want to own a home, I want to get out of renting. That is a goal of mine, so why not learn from somebody that's in the industry that's going to prepare you to get what they are able to help you attain. So of course I got the book. Wasn't expensive, just about $20. I don't know how much it is now, but if you guys are looking for a good read, something to do with building up your finances and bringing down your debt here in Canada, then the Millennial Money Guide is something that I would suggest, along with whatever other information you're reading. And if you don't have nothing at all, start here. Now, I got the book 2 months prior to starting my debt repayment journey. I thought it would be important for me to kind of read what the book was about before I just decided to start it all, because, you know, it's not easy. You have to train your mind to get ready. You have to change your experiences, your daily activities, certain routines that you have. There's a lot of different things that goes into wanting to develop yourself at something. And some of it takes a lot of sacrifice and commitment, and I wasn't too sure what the book would require of me, but I did know that it was a goal that I had, so I was willing to start reading and getting familiar with what it is before I started my journey. So the book, I'm just going to read from the back. It discussed in sequence, this is the sequence of how the book is written. First, it went off with the money mindset, how to build a mind for money. Then saving and paying yourself first. Debt and credit management. Creating multiple streams of income to afford the lifestyle of your dreams. Real estate and investing. And so many other financial concepts. So I was like, I like that. That's a good summary. And then when I went into the book, the money mindset part, that was a digger, because with that, it's very serious. That's exactly what I needed. I need that coaching. I needed that, you know, people say you do yoga, you just meditate and get into where is it that you keep making the same mistakes? Where is it? Drawing that good energy. Start thinking, releasing the negativity. Yes. Well, that's what the book helped me do, the first part. And I went through that and I said, okay, after I read the mindset portion, then I decided, because I'm very old school, I'm not all about the computer. Like, I do like messing around with computer stuff, but at the same time, it's just too much for me always to be typing. I like to write. So I got myself a Duotang, and then, because it suggests you get your credit report and all of these things, so I was like, okay, before I do that, let me write down all of the creditors who keep calling my phone and emailing me. I made a list of the creditors that I have. First, I did the ones that were in collections. Then I did the ones that were out of collections. And what I did was I put them based on the dollar amount. I did the highest to lowest in both portions. Highest to lowest in both areas. When I did that, and then I said, okay, the dollar amount, I put in another column. It's right here, actually, sorry. And then in between, I was like, yeah, I'm making sure that 50% is the amount that I'm willing to negotiate with these people to pay off my debt. It's either I worked or I used a part of my income tax. And because I knew income tax time was coming in April, I was like, bonus, you know what? This is your goal. Sacrifice, get it done. Some of them were able to negotiate with me because, you know, at that time they were just like, okay, you know what? You've had these things around for so long. Let's pay this off. Good. And I whopped them out. Whop. Nice. And then after I moved to the ones in collections. The ones in the collections are the ones that call you and they're like, Natalie Walters, please. This call is for Natalie Walters. Or the email shows up and it's like, ugh. So when I was calling them, it was all nerve. But at the same time, because I was like, no, I'm not going all willy-nilly on this. I have a guide. I've been reading things. I am ready to do what I gotta do. So, and I'm gonna pay the ones that I know I can afford. I'm not going to be negotiating, paying small amounts anymore with these people, because when I was doing that, I was doing it wrong. When I was paying my debts in small incremental amounts every 2 weeks with these debt collectors that were in collections, I was doing it wrong. And that shit is probably why I still had them, because I was just paying off interest, not even the principal. So every time that I may have not committed to making the payment, it just rose back up and started to rear its head on me again. So this time around, I called the first one and I was like, okay, look here. This is what I owe you. This is what I got. What do you want to do? Can we work this out? Give me such and such an amount of time and let me work out this payment. And they were like, well, we're not going to negotiate with you like that. If you're calling us, you at least have that amount of money. And I was like, well, I have close to, so say it was about $400. So I was like, okay, I'm looking to pay $200. And they were like, yeah, no, you're not paying $200. We need $260. And I was like, $260? But I don't have $260. And they were like, okay, well, when you have $260, you can call us back. And then I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go pay another creditor. And then I had one that was like, oh, this one's feisty. She has more creditors and she's going to go pay that person. And then the person stopped me and they were like, okay, how much do you think you can get? 260 is very, 200 is very low. But what we can do is a needs assessment with you. So what they did was they asked me about my income, my expenses, and such and such and such. They must have put it in their little database, and it allowed them to generate a dollar amount, which had taken me to $230 something. So when it took me to $230 something, $30 more is nothing for me to go on and keep trying to negotiate with the person. So I was like, okay, $230 something is what we can settle for. Can you write me a settlement letter? When I get the settlement letter, then I will arrange to have the payment sent by such and such a date. And that's what I did with every single one of my creditors that I've paid off thus far. I was real proud that I brought down my 12 debts to 10. And another reason why that had happened was because I knew that I was going to use a portion of my tax refund to help me pay off a lot of these debts. So with that, I don't know how you plan to do yours. You may need to speak to a financial advisor or someone who is a trustee, depending on your situation. If you are looking for assistance with finding out how you can go ahead and pay off your debts, feel free to contact me. I'll leave my contact information at the end of the video. What I also started to do as I read the book, I would also start to follow people on Instagram who were in a better financial position than myself. They were already successful in understanding finances, whether they were real estate agents, mortgage brokers, financial advisors, people that had purchased homes, and people that had already went through their debt repayment journey, and they were sharing their experiences. I am following everyone and learning from people. So that is so helpful in itself. And at the same time, I'm an independent insurance advisor. Last year, I got my license to sell insurance. So as I am learning about insurance, I am also learning about finances in itself. So financially becoming literate, and then also making better choices as I start to boost my credit and decrease my debt and save for retirement, because this is my last lap. I'm 42. I have no time to play around with having debt beyond 42. It needs to go, and I need to focus on asset accumulation. And I want the same thing for you and your family. If you are in your 20s and you are starting off working, and I know that COVID right now is not making it any better for anybody, but at the same time, there are different options. And if you don't know your options, feel free to contact me. Like I said, I'll leave my information in a minute. And then also, if you're looking for a little read, a little bit of information, check out this book, The Millennial Money Guide. If you're here in Canada, it applies to the Canadian economy. I also have a flyer. So I also have a flyer. The insurance group that I am with, the organization, it's a World Financial Group. They have a financial literacy workshops that they offer every Wednesday. It's offered online, so if you are available, then I have a flyer, and what I'm going to do is I will make this accessible on my Instagram page. Now, here's the contact information. At Reset with Nat on Instagram, if you go to my page, I will post this flyer and have it on there. And if you're interested, DM me. You can also send me an email to resetwithnat@gmail.com. And that way, if you want to ask me more questions, feel free to do that in the form of an email. Now, this is the first Money Boosting Monday episode. It was just very short, very sweet, just giving you a little summary of what Money Boosting Mondays is all about. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about ways to increase our credit, decrease our debt, save money, build assets, build a legacy, and become literate together. As the adults, we are definitely leaving a good example for the future generations behind us. So I'd like to thank you guys for being here with me today. Now, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. On this channel, you're going to get a little of this and a little of that. But on Monday, make sure you know it's Money Boosting Monday. All right? Thanks for joining me. And in everything you do, have faith, stay focused, and always follow through. God bless.